Hey everybody, this is Joby, and today I want to talk about increasing your DPS using rotation and bar swap. Now, a lot of people, when they ask about increasing their DPS, they talk about, oh, what sets should I use? What's, the meta for the best set? How can I be a monster and all that? Sets don't really carry. I mean, if you have a good player and they have a good set, it's going to help a lot, of course. But if you are just starting out, getting a real good set might help a little bit, but what'll help you more than anything is an organized, tight rotation that you've practiced many, many times. Now, what do I mean by rotation? Okay, so if we look at my skills, go into my skills and check it out. This will be what I start off with, crit surge, and that's going to give me some. It's kind of like my buff bar. So crit surge, and then I do race against time, and then I hit my hardened ward, which is my shield, and then I'll put out the mystic orbs and the blockade of storms. The reason I put these out, both of these, see that last 10 seconds, and blockade of storms is 12 seconds. Then I switch bars, and the first thing I do is apply haunting curse. Now this will first go off almost immediately, 3.5 seconds, and then it's just going to tick for another 8 seconds, and it'll explode again. So you want to put down, you buff up before you get into combat, and then you want to put down your timed either damage over times or your AoEs and let those tick off. And then for me, I'm a sorcerer. Everybody's going to be different about the skills that they can use, but you just first want to prioritize them where you're buffing up. And when I say buffing up, I just mean that you do the things that protect you and give you more power. Because, crit surge, if you look here, it's going to heal me, but it's also going to give me major brutality, sorcery, and increase my weapon and spell damage by 20% for 33 seconds. Alright, so this is massively overpowered. I love it. Every sorcerer should use it. And then race against time gives me minor force for 12 seconds. Okay, and it also increases my critical. Well, that's what minor force does. Movement speed and critical damage by 10%. It also removes snares and immobilizations for 2 seconds. My ward, a lot of people, they talk about, I don't have room on my bar to put ward, and that's just ridiculous, okay? Like, when you're dead, your DPS is 0. So it's very important to be able to stay alive. There has to be a balance between your sustain, your damage, and your survivability. The three, important things of being a good player. And then I'll put out Mystic Orb, and it's real slow, and it just damages them for 10 seconds. And then Blockade of Storms will also do off balance. I use charge trait, so if there's splash damage from other people, they'll be concussed, and then as soon as they're concussed and I hit them, they're off balance. So we've got 10 seconds and 14 seconds. Then I switch bars, and I'm going to put out immediately Haunting Curse, because the last thing on that is going to be an 8-second explosion at the very end, and that's altogether is 20,000 damage, and then 8,000 or 9,000 for targets around them. Now, every once in a while I get a free crystal fragment. That's the only time I use it. Sometimes I accidentally hit it. But once I've got all those laid out, I'll do Crushing Shock. Now, I use Inner Beast, and it costs stamina, but it's a taunt. I take it off when I'm in a dungeon, unless we don't have a tank, and then I'll do it. But if I'm with a real tank, I will not use Inner Beast. But if I'm by myself, the enemy will take 10% more damage. Now, they're for sure going to come get you, so you have to be careful. The ranged enemy has a 50% chance to activate Radiate Synergy, and that deals 7,206 damage over time, or damage to them over 3 seconds. And then an additional 7,800. So that's like 14,000 just for the synergy. So it's great for groups if you guys are burning down dungeons with 4 DPS. Very, very effective. Got to make sure and take it off. I usually will replace it with Boundless Storm, so I'm a little bit more tanky. And then, of course, I have Thunderous Rage, and on this bar I have Temporal Guard, just because on this bar it'll give me this shield, and I think it's very useful. It's like 5,000. All right, so I'm just going to do an example now. I have to remind everybody, I live in Taiwan, so My ping is really high. That's like 1,250 ping, which is 1.2 seconds. So what happens is when I'm doing my skills, like I can be pressing the button and it just won't go off. So my DPS is way lower than other people, even though I'm running all kind of good sets, and I've been doing this rotation forever, so fairly fluent. I still mess up all the time, so props to those people that can do flawless rotations. But what I'll first do is do a potion, and then I'll buff up, and then I'll hit my race against time, and I'll hit my ward. Then I put out my damages. I mean my damage over time. Hard to talk while I'm doing this because I'm a moron. And I'll just go ahead and put a inner beast on there. Now also another thing is I'll do weaving, and I got a free one, and I'll put out my ultimate. Then I'm gonna change the no, he's dead. And we can look at what is the it's only 16,000. See, it's not really that good. But the thing is that just depends. When I'm really doing stuff in a dungeon, it's gonna be much better than that. So okay, let's do again. So I'll buff up here, put this out, hit a potion, change, haunted curse, and then I'm just gonna start weaving with pulse force. Hit that, the free one, and then go ahead and hit that like that. Like I said, talking and doing this at the same time is trying to explain what I'm doing is crazy. And, there. Now you can see when I'm working on that, when I do that, what happens is I'll be pressing the button, and you can see it's pressing it on my screen, but it doesn't. The communication between the ZOS server and Xbox Live is very slow compared to other people, so not good. But doesn't matter. The theory of what I'm telling you is solid. Okay, so what you need to remember is when we go to skills again, work it out for yourself. What you want to do first is on your class, if it's a Dragon Knight or if you're a Templar, or if you're a Nightblade. For PvE, this is the way that people do it. All right, so we want to hit Crit Surge. I mean, for me, you want to hit your buffs. So it's Crit Surge, Race Against Time, and Hardened Ward. Those are going to be my 3 buffs. And then it's going to be first. My damages, my AoEs are going to be laid down. And then once all that's done, I go over here, and I'm going to put the longest dot there is, the one with the most time. So this is 3 seconds. I get an explosion. Like if we put Haunted Curse on this guy, you can see. Watch, I got a timer. We put that on. It's going to be 3 seconds. It's going to explode, and then he'll have 8 seconds, and it'll explode again. You don't want to reapply it until it explodes. That's why I would suggest everyone put their timers on. Very, very important for your rotation. The way you do that is when you go to options, you go to combat, ability bar, timers. You want your ability bar timers to be on, and you want your ability bar back row to be on. Now what that is, if I put this Haunted Curse on there again, and I switch bars, you can see that little timer above my my Blockade of Storms, and it's going down, and it's going down, and as soon as you see that off, it's going to go. Boom. Now what we need to do is, if we're doing a full rotation, I'll hit my potion. I hit this. I hit this. I hit this. Put these down. Put these down. Now when I go over to my other bar, Haunted Curse, I can see the bars above it and how long it's going to take. I shouldn't have hit that Haunted. Okay, and I know these are already done. I can go back here, and I shouldn't have applied that. That's too soon. Hit this and this. When I go over here, hit this again. Then we can hit this and then do that. When I'm live, it's I'm much faster. Just talking and trying to explain what I'm doing at the same time is going to be slow. But what I'm telling you is the way to improve your DPS. This will help. People that say they're not going to bar swap, people that don't use their back bar, unless you're using a 1-bar build. But I can tell you, except for very few builds and very few people, 1-bar builds are not going to be as high of DPS as people that use both bars and swap. You've got more skills, you've got more buffs, you've got more things. You see pet sorks everywhere, and they're great. 1-bar pet build. To go to Maelstrom Arena, you don't have to swap bars. That's awesome. But believe me, if you work on bar swapping, you're going to have way more options. You're going to have lots of stuff to do. Your build is just doubled, exponentially about all the things you can do to help your team and to work with them. And if you do a team. If you just play solo and you just want to do a pet sork or whatever, or a 1-bar build, you do whatever you want. But if you are looking to increase your DPS and you want to get more into elite player skills, I'm not an elite player. I'm just an average player. But if you do want, I do play with some elite players, and I can guarantee you that they all bar swap, and they all do this method. A very good way to start out when you know nothing about the game is to go to one of the big boys pages like Outcast or Skinny Cheeks or Zynode, and just copy their build. Look in there for their beginner build, Law of Julianos and Mother Sorrow. That's a great build. Get somebody to craft you Law of Julianos. Go farm Mother Sorrow out of Deshawn. That's great for Mag. Hunding's Rage crafted and Spriggans for a stamina build. Those are great sets. Don't believe people that say you have to have Basai's and Kinra's, because you don't. There's people that just use Spriggans and Hunding's Rage for Stam Blades. And there's people that use Law of Julianos and Mother Sorrow for Mag. Been running it for years. Can go into Cyrodiil either campaign. Those things don't get, they're not proc sets. They're just amp damage, and they're fantastic. Don't be fooled by all this, you need to have this and you need to have that. If you want it, certainly work towards it, but you can have high DPS just using those sets. It really comes down to rotation, character playability, having a good group. When you're standing on the dummy and you're just hitting it on a trial dummy, and then people are telling you that they're getting 70,000 DPS, they're not going to get that much if they go solo somewhere, if they go into a dungeon. There's just no way, because they don't have the support of their team. The dummy gives you, the trial dummies give you as if you were in a perfect buffed group. So if they don't have that, then they're not doing that much. So there you go. That's me. That's my opinion. You can disagree if you want to. We can still be friends. Well, all right. That's about it for today. So please give me a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Leave a comment in the comment section if there's anything that you'd like to see. If you have any ideas about a video, this was actually requested video from someone that was talking about back bar and they didn't know what to do with it, which I understand. This game is very complicated, and I'm always happy to try to help people share what I know about the game. If I haven't already made a video, just might do it. Join my Discord, the most chill Discord server on the planet. There's a link in the description. If you're not doing anything, 7:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Follow me on Twitch. Upper Echelon Mediocrity is the name of the channel. It's just one word. Come in there. You can interact with me live. You can ask me questions. If I know the answer to your question, I'll be more than happy to help you. If you're on Xbox One North American server, you can join my guild. My guild's name is Upper Echelon Mediocrity. Go figure. Just like the channel, 3 words. Right now we have 481 total members, no members pending, and 68 people online. A lot of people doing the event. We are not in the guild finder, so you need to send me a message on Xbox. My name is Coyote, Chaotey, and I'll get you in as soon as time permits. All right, so until that time, let's get paid.